Hi there, welcome in, and here's a thought. Trust your inner creator and let go of your inner critic. J.R. Inser, author of Mastering Success. Well, I hope you had a good weekend. I have a guest today in the form of the voices in my head. Yeah, there's room, I think. But I thought you might be able to relate if you have those nagging little thoughts that tell you you're not worthy, you don't deserve this. The good things, that is. Because the bad things you almost always deserve, according to that destructive little sprite. And that you shouldn't be announcing something big because it sounds like you're boasting. And besides, there are a lot of people who aren't happy right now. What right do you have? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm going to take you back to give you an example of when that voice was loud and funny. Last month, I was delivering an online speech here for a U of T group. And while it's happening, I could see how many people were online taking part and watching. Okay, cool. I don't measure my success in numbers anymore. Or so I thought, because every time I saw so-and-so has left the group because it announces that, I'd think, oh, geez, what did I say wrong? How did I offend them? Was it boring? When of course it wasn't about me. I hope not. For all I know, they had an appointment to get to and caught as much as they could, right? But it's always that voice. The one that told me, lay off the mentions here and in my social media of the Hall of Fame induction last month. I really didn't do it very often. The one that had me suggesting to my pal Nancy, please no, don't notify the local media, when in reality she went ahead and did. And the piece that Czech News in Victoria did was really a highlight, being recognized in my own community. I've been contacted by people in grief and service groups, and really that's what this is all about, getting the message of hope out there. Then there's the actual award and the worthiness issues that swirl up. I actually had a list in my head of the things I figured people would be thinking or saying to me about getting the acknowledgement, not one of which actually came into my inbox or showed up online, at least not to me. But you see, a long public life has kind of braced me for all of this, all the time. See Reasons Erin Drank, number 14. Public or not, I know I'm not alone. Just this past weekend, I got an email from a brilliant woman who specifically mentioned those gremlins as she tackles her next great project. Fortunately, though, there's hope, as we are both fans of this woman, Brené Brown, one of the few and best researchers and speakers on the subject of shame and vulnerability. And you've heard me mention her before, and I'm going to do it again. Her Netflix special, part stand-up comedy and all brilliance, A Call to Courage, reminds us that it's the person who's in the ring getting bloody and dirty and failing who's doing the work, not the one in the stands yelling or taunting or posting. The critic doesn't win. But what about when that critic isn't in the stands, but in your head? One of Brené's books, and each one of them is outstanding in its way. I recommend you get a hard copy instead of downloads so you can mark it dog ear and read over and over. But it has the perfect analogy. Maybe I've brought this up before, but I need reminding of it. Say you're driving down to work and you have a passenger who's sitting there sipping her coffee in the right seat and saying things like, oh gosh, that outfit makes you look fat. You've got to get more sleep. You look about 10 years older than you are. Is that the best you can do? Because what you're saying isn't very funny. And frankly, you're a lousy driver. You know, stuff like that. So what would you do? Well, quite likely you'd pull the car over, tell that cow in the right seat to get out and find another ride. You'd tell her she had no right to talk to you like that. And if she didn't respect or care for you enough to treat you better, then she could, well, take a walk would be one way of putting it. Ms. Brown's advice is to let that passenger out of your head. And I'm telling you this because I let her ride for free far too often. Not only is she annoying, but honestly, all of that nasty heaviness is hurting my speed and how much distance I can get to the leader. Enough. Time to ditch the bitch. Literally. And if you didn't like that language, don't worry, I already thought about what you're going to say. So save it. And I'll be back with you on Thursday. Right? Right. Okay, we all will.